Hey everyone, this is Keza, also known as Skylove's Gory Movies. Take 2 on this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that this doesn't get to take too long. I'm going to do this as a vlog, but I'm going to do it more as a list. And I'm just going to, basically, this is like franchises that I love and that I hate. And I'm not going to go into much detail about it, only because the first time I've done it, it took me about an hour to do it. And I still didn't go halfway. I'll go through a couple, but the ones that you know all about, the mainstream ones, I will just list through. So here we go. First one is Rec 1 to 4. You know what it's about. It's Spanish subtitles and it's a little bit documentary, but it's got that bit of a twist to it. So I ain't seen 4 yet, so when I see 4 I'll let you know what it's about. Next on my list, Saw 1 to 7, but I haven't seen 7 yet. Gory as anything. This is my favourite franchise of all time, so put it that way. Next, Taken 1 to 3, loved 1, hated 2, haven't seen 3. Next, Vomit Gore Trilogy. First one, Slaughter Vomit Dolls, stars a character Amanda LaVey, and she basically, it's crazy. She pukes up, there's a lot of puking, blood. She basically ends up trying to put herself to hell. One of the scenes, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, she's in a bathtub, she's got a noose round her neck and she's under the water, basically trying to kill herself. Regurgitated Sacrifice is the second one of the Vomit Gore trilogy, and it's about Amanda LaVey again, but you'd also see a cameo of the Soska sisters, which is Jen and Sylvia Soska. They're of conjoined twins, and you see they're trying to become separated. And the third one is with Hope Lycans, and there's a lot of puke on up, there's a cross involved, and she's masturbating herself with it. It's basically, it sums up in the title. There's a lot of vomiting and there's a lot of gore. And then if you do get the special packs, you'll see the short film A Perfect Child of Satan, which is it is really good. Next one, another film I can talk about, August Underground trilogy. First one happens to be my favourite. It's more like a found footage disturbing movie, which I really do enjoy. It's more tamer than when you get to Mordom. Mordom is completely fucked up because they have the added element of a girl, and there's a baby involved in it as well, and Penance has the girl in it also, and there's a bit more rape in the second and third one. If you want to know more about the August Underground trilogy, check on my other videos. I do a good review of this, and it tells you a bit more about what happened, so please go and see that. Next on my list is Death Note 1 and 2. If you've seen the anime of Death Note, basically that sums up in the film. Next on my list is Nightmare on Elm Street. The ones I like are 1, 3, 4, 5, Freddy's Dead and New Nightmare, and I don't even have to go into any much detail. Next on my list is House 1 to 4. After that, Blood Species 1 to 4, one of my favourite vampire films. Next after that is a film I can talk about quickly. It's got a lot of gore, it's got zombies, and it's got that cheese factored in it, and it's in Japanese as well. And it's Lust of the Dead 1 through to 4. There possibly could be a number 5 coming out. Next on my list is Godfather trilogy. Don't even need to go into that. Next on my list is Hellraiser 1 through to 3. I will explain more on my hate ones, because there's ones that I like and ones that I hate. So there you go. Next on my list, Return of the Living Dead, numbers 1 through to 5. Next on list, Toxic Avenger 1 through 4. Next on my list, See No Evil 1 and 2. Next on my list, Friday the 13th 1 through 5. Next is Halloween. All of them, gotta give a big shout out to somebody else that likes all of this franchise. That's their favourite. That's Stephen Yarborough, also known as Spider Movie Guy. Next on my list, Karate Kid 1 through 3. Next is Critters 1 through 4. Next on my list, Phantasm 1 through 4. Happens to have one of my favourite soundtracks on Phantasm. Next on my list, Battle Royale 1 and 2. Next on my list, Evil Dead 1, 2, 3 and the remake. Next on my list, Scream 1, 2, 3. Next on my list is Japanese Ring 1 and 2, and Ju-On The Grudge is the Japanese versions. I hate the American remakes. Next on my list, the director of this is directed by Takashi Miike. I think he's my favourite director of all time. He's back up on that list. He's back up on my number 1. The franchise I'm on about is the Dead or Alive franchise. Next, the same director also directed the next franchise I'm on about is Zebra Man 1 and 2. And I don't even have to go into that because I just love it. Next on my list, the Candyman franchise. Next on my list, the Human Centipede 1 and 2. Proper disturbing flick. I like 1. It's a bit tame. If you don't know what it's about, give you a quick little insight. Number 1 is about a mad scientist that picks up 3 people and he performs this operation to become a human centipede, where their mouths get attached to another person's anus and they crawl around like a centipede. First one's alright, but the second one does it on a whole bigger scale. Lawrence Harvey, you are a legend. And in the second one, how disturbing it gets. How about having barbed wire wrapped around your anatomy and you're raping somebody? That's how bad it gets. Next is The Exorcist, and I think there's 1 through 5, but do not quote me. I'm sure there's 5 in this franchise. Tell you the quick story. My mum was about 16 and she basically bunked off school to watch this movie, and basically she watched the movie and she absolutely shit herself and had nightmares for weeks afterwards. So there's the little story for you. About the nice things I can say about my mum, put it that way. Next on my list, Poltergeist 1 through 3. You know the whole script about that. Next, Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Next, Amityville Horror franchise 1 through 10. Next, Alien 1 through 3. Next, the Leprechaun franchise. Next, one of my favourite franchises ever, Demons 1 and 2. I think it's produced by Dario Argento, and the director role is Lamberto Bava. Was it Lambert? One of them. Watch it, it's fabulous. Next, Species 1 through 3, Terminator franchise. Next, Rocky 1 through 6, The Howling 1 through 8. There might be a couple more, not too sure. Next, The Omen 1 through 5. Next, Psycho 1 through 5. Next, Night of the Living Dead. I'm sure there's 7 sequels to it. Next, Jaws 1 through 4. Next, Wrong Turn 1 through 6. You know the whole script about number 6. Next, Fast and Furious 1 through 6. Do like them, but I prefer 5 and 6. Indiana Jones trilogy next. Wayne's World 1 and 2. Starring Mike Myers. Yeah. And don't get confused with the horror icon Michael Myers. Next on list, Naked Gun trilogy with Leslie Nielsen. Next, Beverly Hills Cop 1 through to 3 with Eddie Murphy. Next, Lord of the Rings trilogy directed by Peter Jackson. The Hobbit trilogy, great. I like the first one, haven't seen The Desolation of Smaug yet. Star Wars 4 through 6, this is the original, then Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, which I like. Next is Batman, and then up to Batman and Robin. Next is, outstandingly, it's gotta be The Addams Family and Addams Family Values. I love it. Next, American Pie franchise. Gotta give a big shout out to Rossi Boy 19 because he likes this franchise. Next is the Pink Panther franchise. Next is the Superman franchise and Supergirl. Next is the X-Men franchise, but gotta admit this, I haven't seen Days of Future Past yet. Next on my list is Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Next is Necromantic 1 and 2. I can talk a little bit about this. The first Necromantic and the second Necromantic, all based on a theme of necrophilia, which means having intercourse with dead corpses. The first one is about a couple that find a dead corpse and they have their way with it, whatever, and then at the end of the film, the living guy, obviously he kills himself, and as he's killed himself, the girls having it off them. And then in the second one, was meant to have happened with the girl from the first one taking his body and doing whatever happens, but actually what happens in the second one, it's a young girl that digs up the grave, she takes it back, cuts off his manhood, puts it in the fridge, then decides to date somebody, and then they're having a relationship until he finds the penis in the fridge and he's not happy about it, and then she kills him and then does it with him. It's fucked up. Next on my list is Carrie and Carrie the Rage 2. I'm on about the Carrie with Sissy Spacek in it. Next on my list, Lethal Weapon franchise with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. I think there's 4 in it. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one. The first one is Die Hard with Bruce Willis. The first one is Silence of the Lambs with Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. Insidious 1 and 2. Jurassic Park 1, 2 and 3. Rush Hour 1 to 3. Of course, Back to the Future 1, 2 and 3 with Michael J. Fox, Leah Thompson and Christopher Lloyd. Men in Black 1 through 3 with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Now don't hate me for saying this next one, but I really like Shrek. I like the whole Shrek franchise. Yay! I'm sad. Next is the Predator franchise. I do like all of it, even the Alien vs Predator as well, so don't hate me. Next on my list is Lady Snowblood 1 and 2. Basically, Lady Snowblood, the Lady Snowblood's films, the 1 and 2, are basically near enough the same as Kill Bill. So if you like Kill Bill, you'll love Lady Snowblood. Next is The Untold Story 1 and 2. It's a Japanese flick. but it is good. It's got loads of gore and stuff like that. Cold Prey 1 and 2 is a Scandinavian horror film, but it's absolutely amazing. Fright Night 1, 2 and remake. I love it all. I Spit on Your Grave, the original, one of the bestest video nasties in the world ever. The remake's alright, and the second one, and there's number 2 to the remake as well. The Reanimator franchise, great franchise. Wolf Creek 1 and 2. I will admit, I never watched the film until last night, and after last night, it's an amazing franchise. You need to watch it, and they're bringing out a third one as well. Dirty Dancing 1 and 2. The second one is Havana Nights. And I've got to have a bit of cheese in the franchises I like, so there we go. Grease 1 and 2. I do love 1, but I'll always prefer number 2. The Scorpion King franchise, I prefer The Rock than the others, but I still like the rest. What else are we? We've only got a few more that we like now, and then we'll get on to the ones that we hate. Maniac Cop 1, 2 and 3. Amazing. Police Academy franchise. One of the most funniest comedies ever to be released. Hot Shots 1 and 2. Charlie Sheen is freaking outstanding. Next, Puppet Master franchise. There's 10 of them. Go and watch them all, they're brilliant. Kick-Ass 1 and 2. Will admit, I love 1, but I ain't seen all of 2 yet. Hellboy 1, 2 and 3. I like the first Hellboy, I like the second, but I ain't seen the third yet. Halloween Town 1, 2, 3 and 4. I've only seen the first and the second Halloween Town. It's like a kiddies one, but it is good. Chronicles of Narnia 1, 2 and 3. It's good, but I ain't seen the third one yet. The naughty me. And the last one of franchises and sequels I like is the Zombie franchise. Not the zombie that has an E at the end. Zombie with the Z-O-M-B-I. As in zombie flesh eaters and the ones that come on after that. Basically, before I go on to the hate ones, if there's any franchises and sequels that aren't on my list that you do like and you want to do your own little list, go ahead. This one I will explain a bit more in detail, because these are hate, and I will tell you why I don't like them. Especially with the first one. Franchises and sequels I hate. Here we go. Number 1, top of my list, Child's Play. I just don't like. Don't get me wrong, I like Doll Man, I like Puppet Master, I like stuff like that. But Child's Play, I don't like it at all. And there is one reason why. I don't know if it's the second one or the third one. I hate to see the Chucky, I don't like Bride of Chucky anyway. They just But the whole franchise in general, I don't like it. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not going to say how it happened, but in 1993, the town I live in, which is Bootle, Liverpool, a murder took place here in the shopping centre, which is about, it's a 5-minute drive away, and if you walk on it, it'll take about 15 minutes to walk it. And in that shopping centre, a little boy was kidnapped and murdered. It's famous all over the world. I'm not going to say how they killed him and stuff like that. And basically one of the murderers, like, they were only like 10 and 11 when they killed the child at the time. Now one of them is now living his life. He's engaged, has a brother. They give these murderers new identities, and I think it's fucking wrong. I think once you kill somebody, it's a life for a life. But the other one is a bit more crazier. He's still been in and out of jail, and he's been doing naughty stuff. But anyway, that's the gist of it. Anyway, next on my list that I hate is Nightmare on Elm Street, the second one, and the remake. The reason why I don't like the second one, I think it's just it was a bit too much for me. With me having the childhood phobia of Freddy Krueger, was just something that I didn't like. And the remake, please, shouldn't Robert Englund is the only Freddy Krueger, that is it. I don't think anybody else should have been Freddy Krueger. End of story. Next franchise that I hate is Hostel 1 through 3. Now, the idea of me going into a hostel, giving your passport to a person and then never be seen again, I just don't like it. The film I like the gore, but I wouldn't visit the country where it's all been set. It just looks a bit too weird for me. Next on my list, Hills Have Eyes 1, 2 and remake. Don't get me wrong, I like certain cannibalistic films, but it's taking the piss from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that's why I didn't like it. Next on my list is Hellraiser. Don't get me wrong, I love 1 to 3, but 4 to 9, they were literally taking their piss with the franchise. They took it wrong. I know people are going to say, why are you saying that for? Well, it's my opinion. I'm just giving out an opinion. Next one that I hate is Friday the 13th, 6 onwards. I think from after 5, it just gets worse and worse and worse, in my opinion. Next on my list, Hannibal Trilogy. After Silence of the Lambs, no go for me, just shit. And the next 2 movies are shit as well, in my opinion. Scream 4 and 5, shit. Scary Movie 1 through 5, absolutely diabolical. I don't think, in my opinion, they should not have made a Scary Movie. Just, what are you doing? You're taking the piss of a fucking horror film. What the fuck are you playing at? That's in my opinion. Next is Ring 1 and 2, but the American remake. Absolutely shit. Didn't find it scary at all. It was just for me. Next on my list, Final Destination 1 through 5, shit. I know people are going to say, but I love Final Destination. I just don't like where something that's unexpected is going to happen to you, or that you're in a situation and it's about to happen. It's crazy. And one of the shittiest franchises ever I cannot stand is Paranormal Activity. And people have said to me, oh, Paranormal Activity is amazing. Paranormal Activity is a real horror movie. Fuck off. Excuse my language. I don't usually swear, but when you're talking, this is what somebody said to me. I'm saying it from experience. Somebody said to me, oh, Paranormal Activity is amazing. It's a real horror franchise. It's a horror movie. What the fuck? It's a subgenre of a horror movie. It's not a horror movie, it's a subgenre. There's like, you've got your home invasions, your slashes, your ghost. This is under the ghost. I just don't like it. I've seen it and I just don't like it. Tremors 1 through to 4. Not my cup of tea. Not that I don't really hate it. It's just one I've watched it and I just won't watch it again. It's just not my cup of tea. Next on my list is the Children of the Corn franchise. I just don't like killer kids. It puts me off watching a horror film, watching killer kids. It's like Bloody Birthday. It's alright, but I just don't like it because it's got killer kids in it. Next on my list, Blade trilogy. Taking the piss of the vampire genre. Don't get me wrong, Wesley Snipes is a good actor, but it's just taking the piss. Now, the next one on my list should definitely be on this list. It's been noted as one of the worst horror movies ever produced. Troll 1 and 2. I'm not gonna say, because everybody else agrees with me, it's shit. If you like this movie, put a screw. You've got a few screw looses. Listen, gone. Right, next is the 12 Rounds franchise. And this is the thing. I loved 1 because how John Cena dealt with the 12 rounds of tasks he had to do was immense. But you put Randy Orton in the second one. That's a big fucking no. He can't really act, and the film wasn't really good for him. If you put somebody else in it, like say if The Miz done 12 rounds too, it would have been a bit better. That's my opinion. The next, and then speaking of The Miz, we're going on to the Marine. 2, 3 and 4. I absolutely love 1 because John Cena, that was his role. It was amazing. And then you had to put Ted DiBiase Jr. in the second one, and then The Miz in the third and the fourth one. Oh, that you're going downhill, WWE. If you want to make any more WWE studios, and you want to do a Marine 5, put somebody else that deserves the role, not The Miz, or that stupid Summer Rae that you put in number 4. Absolutely diabolical. Now, next one, I'm gonna get hated for this by House of Carlock in 1985, Mr. Byron Orlock himself, because I absolutely hate the Godzilla franchise. Sorry, Byron, but I do not like it. I'm not a fan of killer dinosaurs, like monster dinosaurs. Don't get me wrong, I like Jurassic Park, but Godzilla, no go. So next on our list is the Piranha franchise. B movie shitness. I fucking hate it. Just don't like it. Next on this list is the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. It wasn't my cup of tea, put it that way. Next on my list is the Tomb Raider franchise. Just didn't like it. I know I'm gonna go and really apologise for this next one, because everybody likes this next one apart from me, and it's the Star Trek franchise. Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy, but I just don't like it at all. Sorry. Next on my list, I spoke about this before, that I really liked 4 to 6 of this, but I hate Star Wars, Phantom of the Menace, Attack of the Clones, and the other one. I just don't like it. Next on my list, I hate Sharknado, the trilogy. Just cannot stand it. It's crap. Next on my list is Die Hard 2 onwards. I didn't like where they went with the film, basically. And next on my list, I think Keanu Reeves' worst film he ever made, and it's the Matrix trilogy. I just didn't like it at all. Next on my list is a Disney film that I hate. And I know people love this trilogy, but I hate the Toy Story trilogy. It's just sad. Like, my 7-year-old loves it. I hate it. Next on my list that I hate is the Resident Evil franchise. I know people like it because it's from a game, but it's not my cup of tea. Next is Blood Rain trilogy. Freaking hate that. Next on my list is the Transformers franchise. Michael Bay, you are one of the worst directors on the planet. Where did you get this from? Don't know, but I hate it. Next on my list, I don't know why this is on my list, but it is. And it's Stepfather 1 through 3. I just don't like it. Next on my list, 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and they're doing another one. I just don't like the whole infected genres, like where you're getting infected and it's just crazy running after people. Which brings me on to another one that's a bit similar to that. Or not. No, it's not. It's the 30 Days a Night trilogy. Just don't like that. Next is the Underworld franchise. Don't like that. Don't like the Mummy franchise. Hated it. Hated Scorpion King 2 and 3. Hated this Descendant 1 and 2. Couldn't stand Carrie remake. Sorry, but I hated it. And the whole Cabin in the Woods franchise I hate. And the Boogeyman franchise I hate. And last but not least, the franchise I hate most of all, Harry Potter. If you're doing a team Harry Potter or a team Lord of the Rings, I am team Lord of the Rings all the way. So, sorry if I rushed them last couple of ones, but I wanted to get through this one tonight because it's kind of hectic because I need to do another video as always. So yep, that's vlog 8 all done. Sorry. Please stay gory and have unpleasant dreams. Ta-ta for now.